Well, good morning, folks. This Country Boy Garage here. I just kind of waiting on the rain here this morning. It's supposed to rain, so probably ain't gonna be uh, painting anything today. Some of you might be wondering why I go with Country Boy Garage. Well, I'll show you. This is my garage. Yep, out here. This is my garage. And you know, I was talking about my auto darkening helmet messed up and I couldn't see out of my other one. Well, I was at Atwoods and they have these lenses for $2. And here's a hose reel I made out of a aluminum wheel. This is kind of a little introductory video of me and a little bit about me. You seen I do the red, white, and blue on a lot of things. Kind of interesting story behind that. Years ago, probably about 25 years ago, I had an old Mack truck that the grill had got busted out and it got a wire mesh grill put in it, just old rusty wire mesh. Well, one night I was asleep and I had a dream. The Lord showed me how to paint a flag on the front of that truck. He gave me the exact dimensions for the blue part. He said, don't worry about the stars, just put the blue on it. And he told me the dimensions for the red and white stripes. Well, I woke up the next morning and it was still vivid to me. And so I went outside, I primered it up, and I talked to the Lord. I said, now Lord, I'll do it like you showed me. But if it looks stupid, I'm painting it black. Well, I did it exactly like he said. And I pulled the tape off, and that thing looked immaculate, and I was shocked. I pulled up down at the scale house at Ashdown, and the old guy that was in there was usually, cantankerous, just gripey, As soon as I pulled up on the scales, went up to the window, and he said, man, I love that grill. Where did you get it? And I said, I did that myself. I painted it. Well, he got up out of his chair and came outside and looked at it and took pictures of it. He said, I love it. And that man was different to me. He was nice to me every time I went in there after that. Well, a lot of y'all know my dad. He was a critic on a lot of things, especially what I did. And I pulled up out there at Mom and Dad's one day in the truck, and I was telling him about it. He never said nothing, He just got up and walked outside, I just kept sitting there drinking coffee with Mom. And he come back in and he had went and looked at that. And like I said, Dad was a critic. Well, I didn't know how many stripes was supposed to be on the flag, but he did. And he come back in and he said, how'd you get the dimensions for that? And I told him, I said, well, the Lord gave them to me. Well, Dad didn't serve the Lord, you know. He wasn't saved, you know. So that kind of didn't make sense to him. Well, Dad didn't tell me I did a good job on a lot of stuff, but he said, "Well, you did a good job on it." He said, "Do you know how many stripes is supposed to be on the flag?" And I said, "No." He said, "Well, there's supposed to be 13." I said, "Well, how many's on mine?" He said, 13. And I was like, whoa. So I knew then it was the Lord. But I couldn't figure out, Lord, why did you have me paint a flag on the front of my truck? Why not something like a silhouette of Jesus, a beautiful cross, you know, something spiritual? Well, he let me go for 2 weeks. Man, I got all kinds of raves and just bragging on that. People wanting to know where I bought it, where I bought it. Well, I painted it. And a lot of them, you know, didn't believe it because it looked immaculate. And the Lord let me go for 2 weeks wondering why I did a flag. I knew it was him because it turned out beautiful, and I'm no artist by a long shot. But now my wife was. Now she was really good, but me, you know, I just couldn't figure it out, you know. Why did he not let me do something, you know, religious, you know? Well, like I said, he let me go 2 weeks. Then one day, he revealed it to me. He said, I had you to paint a flag for you to remember to be thankful. You live in a country where you're free to worship me. And I have loved the flag ever since that day. Because, you know, that's a symbol to me, you know, to be thankful that we live in a country where we are free to worship the Lord. And like I said, I hope this helps somebody, you know. But like I said, I just wanted to kind of throw that in, you know. I was talking to a friend, and I told him, you know, I said, well, you know, I'll just, I'm not going to go into details on telling you why I love, you know, do everything red, white, and blue, you know. And I thank the Lord. I've been able to paint the flag on a lot of things. My neighbor that lived across the street from me was a Vietnam veteran. He was a good friend of mine. He's passed away now, but I found a big flat rock, and I thought, you know, I'll make this for Jimmy. And I painted the flag on that big flat rock, and I took it over there and I set it up by their porch. And he came out one day and he seen that, and here he come across the street. He said, Rick, did you do that? And I said, yeah, I did. Well, that was probably 10 years ago. They still have that rock at their front porch. And the way I know it was the Lord, the paint is still on it. And it's just cheap Walmart paint. But if the Lord is in something and He tells you to do it, it'll be there. whatever it is, if the Lord tells you to do it, it will be there. And there won't be no questions about it. If he tells you to do something, you'll know it's him. I mean, there's no question. I mean, the Lord's told me several things, and the way you'll know it is it will be exact. It will be exact, like he said. But anyway, like I said, this is kind of just a little video about me, you know, what I'm about. I just a country boy, and I just work outside, you know. I don't have a big fancy shop. I don't even have a shop. But, you know, I just got a little storage building to keep my tools in out of the rain. But, with the Lord's help, someday, maybe I'll have a shop. But until then, I'll just keep working outside. But, you know, I'm thankful for the talents that the Lord has given me to work on stuff, you know. Now, when it comes to electronics, no. I kind of missed the boat there, you know. But he's given me several talents, and I can talk about some of them in future videos, you know. But for now, that's it. We'll talk at you later.